Yes! I made it! Awesome. Yeah! Second try, too. So, hey everybody, my name is SWChris. I'm from SWCity, and today we're going to build the Death Games. This is my creeper factory. So, somebody pranked my sign and I just replaced it. But we're going to build this later on, but we're going over here because Death Games are fun, and this was made by Etho. But I made this design of the Death Games all on my own, and this is all it takes to build it. If you aren't familiar with the Death Games, basically what it is when you... Ooh, scary sound. Okay. When you basically log in, you check your name to see if it's in the chest, and the person whose name is in the chest is it, and they can be killed using a basically a special set of armor, and the person who successfully kills that person gets to collect some sort of reward or diamond or prize from them. And today we're going to be building that. And of course, if your name's in the chest, you can push this button and flush it out and bring a new name in. And so it's not going to take that long. It's I spent last night putting it together. I didn't look at any tutorials or anything. That is a squid. That is weird. Okay. I had to dig this out of the water. But yeah, I spent pretty much all night last night putting this together, and then I compacted it myself. And I'm really, really proud of what I was able to do here. Let's go ahead and drop down, put a redstone here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through how to build this. And hopefully it won't take that long. But all you have to do is, you saw me put the button right there, and then we have this redstone here that's activated, and it goes down to there, and what we're going to do is send it around over to this side. So let me get over there first. Doing this in survival is a lot different than doing it in creative. And then here, what we're going to do is we're going to put one of our 7 redstone torches right there. And we're going to bring... Let's see. I need these. So I don't need you, but I do need you. And we're going to put some redstone right there. And what we're doing is we're sending the signal downward so that when we hit this point, there we go. Let's get rid of this. Boink, boink. It powers this little, yeah, it needs to go like this little comparator clock. And as long as the signal is powered, this is going to stay on. But when the signal goes off, this is going to run down very slowly and give us kind of a time limit, so that lasts well beyond that initial button press up there. But once that's done, the signal is going to travel out of here. Let's see, do I have this right? Yeah. And I'm going to pop that right there. And it's going to travel up here, and then there's going to be a repeater right here. And then this repeater just stays at 1 tick, but it's going to send the signal back up to this side. And I keep moving stuff out that I need. Right there. Okay, awesome. And let's see. Then we need to send it right there. And then pop this out. There we go. Let's go up here. There we go. Let's get down one more so that I can see what I'm doing. It's going to come over here to right about here. And this is going to power... where's my redstone? Let's get rid of the food. Power that. And here's where it gets a little interesting. Here, we are going to go down 1. And then 2 in. And it's going to power into whatever is going to be right here, which I will show you. And then it's also going to come up one. Let's see, how do I do this? Let's do this. Over this half slab, and the signal is going to split, you see, because the half slab lets the redstone signal travel up as well as down. It's really kind of ingenious. Oops. And then what we need to do, boink, is come right over there. Oh, come on. And come over here. And what we're going to do is use these droppers here. Now, do I have this right? Yeah, I think I do. So 1, 2, 3. And then we need one right here. And then we need to use a hopper. And the hopper is going to go right into there. So basically what happens is, oh, come on up. I'm going to go ahead and push this button. It's going to power this, which triggers this and sends the signal up here. And what it does is it powers these droppers. So the droppers drop an item up, drop an item up, and drop an item up. All three of them do that, which is going to be important later on. But now what we need to do is come over to the other side. Get rid of this. Put a hopper right here and a redstone torch right here. This redstone torch is going to trigger this hopper, this dropper, and it's going to lock this hopper. So when this, when you push the button up there, this torch is going to turn off. This dropper is going to activate. It's going to suck the name out of the chest up there and bring it down. And then when the torch turns back on, it's going to power this dropper, which is going to put the new name in. So it's very, very compact and very nice that way. So we'll come down like this and then 2 in. So there is the basic Death Games thing. And I think this is really kind of cool that I could do this on my own and just not refer to anything that anybody else was doing. Because frankly, I remember seeing Ethos LP and just him kind of lamenting the fact about how time intensive it was to try to figure it out. And it did take about an evening for me to figure it out. But it also means that, hey, I can do this, which is really cool. There's only one more thing we need to add, which is where is it? Ah, yes. So let's get rid of, I need all of this, but let's get rid of this for now. I'm going to use this so we can tell it's a different circuit, but we need a piece of andesite right there. And this is going to be important because we want to make sure that this thing supports up to 20 players. It's going to be basically 9 players in here, 9 players in here, and are you sure it's 20? I'm pretty sure it's 20. And then 1 player here. Actually, we could maybe put it up to 27 players. I think it might work with 27 players, to be honest. Possibly even 28. So I will get you an accurate count after I'm finished building with this. But anyway, when a name is detected in here, we want this to immediately send the names up to the top so that we can fill this whole thing with names, so that you're not just limited to nine names. Because you can't have names in the hoppers, because if there's like an item right here, a name right here, and another name right here, this name is never going to get sucked out of the hopper. It's always going to be right here. So you don't want to get names getting stuck in the system. So that's basically what is going on. I don't need you, do I? Or do I? Do I need you? No, I do not need you. Awesome. Okay, great. So anyway, we're going to put a block here, and then we're going to come over here with this, boink, this piece of redstone, And this piece of redstone is actually going to power some hoppers. So we need one hopper going into here. Boink, boink. And one hopper going into here. Now this is important. You need to put one item in here, so we'll just put a piece of cobble. And this is going to be stuck in here until this torch turns off. So once the item is detected in here, we're going to put a piece of comparator right here. And then, yep, another piece of, what is this stuff? Andesite right here. And then we're going to put a redstone torch right here. So what this circuit does is once the name is detected in here, it powers this comparator. The comparator powers the block, which turns off the redstone torch. That means this item gets sucked into here, which powers this comparator before it gets sucked back in, which is enough to turn off this torch and trigger all three of these, I believe. Is it all three? It might just be the bottom two. It'll trigger the bottom two, and it'll send names in here up to the top one, and it'll send a name down here up here. So yeah, there you go. So really, really kind of simple design. The only thing left to do is to do the daylight timer and have kind of a randomizer for that. So that is definitely, let me go back because I had this out of order. There we go on my little image thing. Now the daylight timer, I'm going to move this. So anybody watching this episode, don't worry about having to, I need food, build around this because this can be moved really easily. But what we want is we want the daylight timer to come in here on this side of the redstone clock so that it, actually it can be on that side too, come to think about it. So it can be on any side as long as it comes into here. So what we're going to do here is let's come back to here, do this, and then we need a repeater. And this one needs to be full ticks. And the reason is because I need that. We're going to be putting, there we go, the sticky piston right here, and we're going to create a monostable circuit. And so when this circuit goes off, it's going to send a redstone pulse into here, and this needs to lengthen the pulse because it doesn't have enough ticks to actually activate the clock if you don't lengthen the pulse to 4 ticks. So it's kind of a weird kind of thing. So whatever. But yeah, we're going to have this come out here. I'm going to have a piece of a repeater right there. And then what we need are 2 pieces of redstone right there. And there we go. Do I have this right? Uh-oh. Okay, annoying little flub aside there, because I didn't measure right. We are going to actually bring this over here. So we're going to reverse this. And I'm going to move this anyway, but just for the sake of the video, let's go ahead and put a comparator right there. And what we need are 3 of those things like so. Put a dropper right there, dropper right there. And then we need 2 repeaters. And where's that daylight sensor? Okay. We're going to put the daylight sensor right there. A piece of redstone right there. And then this one is going to have 0 ticks, and this one's going to have 4 ticks. The reason is because when this daylight sensor triggers, like so, I want this one to send the item back in to this before this one sends an item back into here. And the reason is that what this thing is going to do is it's going to randomize things. So let's see. Do I have? Let me make a like a shovel or something really quick because we'll use that. Could be like any tool as long as it does not stack at all. So let's go ahead and do this. And since I only have enough wood for this, oh, you know what? Let's make it a hoe. I don't know. I like that tool. It's a funny tool. So let's put a hoe right there. Let's also add different blocks, as long as they do not stack, or at least these need to be able to stack up to 64, and this one cannot stack at all. So you can add this. You can add up to 9 items, but the more items you add, the less of a chance the hoe has of getting into this dropper. And the reason that's important is because, let's see, turn this off. You see, when the item that stacks up to 64 is in here, it only sends out a redstone signal of 1. But, let's see if I can do this. Nope. One more time. Yep. Okay. When the hoe is in here, it sends a full redstone signal out, which activates this, and basically what it does is it switches the names out. So every day you have, right now I'm putting it at a 1 in 4 chance of getting your names switched out, which should keep things interesting. That means the names will switch every hour or every 2 hours. If I put it up to 5, it gets a really kind of, how you'd say, long. So if you have a lot of people and there's a lot of activity on your server, you may want to put 5 items in there. But we are kind of a medium activity server, so I'm putting it at 4 so that everything is always kind of fresh when people log on and they can come in and check. So the last thing to do is to put in the names. And hang on, I got a cough. Okay, so the last thing to do is to put in the names, but we're not going to do that right now. We're going to save that until everything's built up. We're going to do that as a group build. And the names can be anything, I think, as long as you use a name tag, as long as you name it on an anvil, I believe is how we should do it. So you can, what was that? Was that a torch? That was a piece of, okay. So it's just a piece of particle flying around. Okay. So yeah. Let me go back. I know I said I was going to say something in the end of the video because I had something wrong or something. So let me cut really quick and go do that, and then we'll be right back. Okay, everybody. I am here in my test world, my new test world, because my old one got corrupted, which sucks. But I have an answer for how many players this supports. It's 20. We have 9 here, 9 here, 1 here, and then 1 in the chest. If you add an extra one, let's do that, and we flush it, guess what happens? Down here at the bottom hopper, it has to remain empty. Otherwise, this will send extra redstone ticks to the server, and it'll just kind of bog things down. You can expand it, but just by adding more droppers. But you have to keep in mind that the more droppers you add and the more people you add, the less likely the ones on the bottom are to ever get selected. So that's one of the overheads with this design. But if you enjoyed this tutorial and it works for you, leave a like and a comment. If you have any questions about it, I'll be sure to answer them in the comments. But that's going to be it for this episode of Fullstack. So my name is SWChris. Arrivederci, hasta la vista. Bye-bye.